towards that one. It was Fox running on towards the Gecko, so Killua picking that up is a bit of a difference. Leviathan, Omen, I mean, it makes sense that Leviathan is still going to be dropping on towards the smokes, but I think it's going to be, for me, the supporting cast, right? A map like Abyss, you need your supporting cast to go hard.
You do indeed. So that's going to be the time, Komodo. I welcome everyone on Super Live back. We are watching the Valorant Challenges Southeast Asia. It's a pleasure to be here, ladies and gentlemen. I love a little bit of Southeast Asian Valorant. And we're going to be opening up the evening again with Mongols versus the Full Sense. Komodo in your ears. Let's see what they've got for us today.
Actually, quite a big change for Leviathan going on towards the Sova, so it feels like we're seeing a different Full Sense right now, but this is quick from Mongols, and likewise Full Sense.
Okay. So a little bit of info spotted early. Fear trying to find a little bit more, but 1, 2, 3 already all the way out there. Laz has been taken quite low. Information not gathered. Spike in an awkward spot now as they try to cross the bridge. Where are they going to plant that one? A little bit around the corner. No, they do rotate back towards mid-site. So full 5-on-5 retake here, Komodo, but sky is blue. Makes quick work of Leviathan.
Now with no Dizzy as well for Killua, your information is actually quite limited going into this retake for Full Sense.
Not bad from 1, 2, 3. Trying to get that further information, but Potter does make quick work of Sky is blue. Sephiroth also taking down 1, 2, 3. So punished for those earlier missed shots only a short time ago. Now they force their way in. Nebula will be down. Killua dropping another, so it's looking good so far. 119 taken, and man, that was pretty disgusting from Full Sense. What a retake there. Just losing Leviathan and then not a single frag taken back from the Mongols.
Yeah, I mean, really nice just sharp shots to come out from them. Everyone was pretty healthy besides Laz, who was damaged down to 30 earlier on in the piece. I'm looking towards what utility they've got available, right? I mentioned no Dizzy is one of those forward positional utilities that you want for that retake coming on forward. With Leviathan losing his life earlier on, he still had darts playing from heaven as well, right? I think it's going to be a learning process. Again, I'll harp back on that for somebody like Leviathan, where this is his 4th time playing Sova at an official capacity. He's got a little learning to do, right? Quite a different role to the likes of an Omen or an Astra that Sephiroth is picking up. And then there's a lot more importance as well for how is he setting up his team? How is Potter getting activated? With an Outlaw on this defensive side, damage can be done on the Alpha side. We're actually at B right now because it is just these pistol upgrades for the Mongols on the back of that plant.
And you know why I was losing my mind, Komodo? It's because 1, 2, 3 was on team 1, 2, 3 from Mongolia. Yeah. That's where it all comes from. Now, Laz able to rip Sky's Blue's head off very quickly. Sephiroth the same. Spike drop inside the Nebula there, so this should be an easy Spectre round. Again, the Sheriff's only really there to do some damage, and ultimately the Leviathan will drop down Fear. So well done from Full Sense. Great counter eco. 5 alive, and they'll have themselves a pretty well set looking bonus.
Yeah, and this is always going to be one of those things as well for the early games at the end, right? What have you figured out in your opponent? What tendencies have they displayed? I don't really think we can ride too much on the back of that for the Mongols, because it's been start B and then go A, or it's been start B and then B, try to bully our way through. These are the rounds where you also have to consider, what have we seen? The Outlaw from Potter. Not really heard yet. So these light shields, the Sky's blue, 119, and for MGLZ could have been deadly. I say could have been deadly because that is a sharp opener for 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely it is. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Mongols there. So right now 119 just spotting to see if he can see anything further. They're going to have to catch off Sephiroth there, who has jumped across the line. But it's just patience right now. Nothing spotted. It's a walk down mid from Killua, and he's going to pay dividends there as he drops down MGLZ.
It was 3 of them, though. And I think even all 3 of them might have been spotted up through mid. So I'm a little bit surprised that the Mongols haven't gone a little bit quicker in towards this A site. The Spike will eventually have to get picked up by 119 on a massive transition. If you're the Mongols, you got a decision. Are you pushing for security control or heaven control? Or are you just waiting deep into the site for when this plant eventually comes through?
Very, very slow round, isn't it, compared to what we've seen before? And they are very much dotting their I's, crossing their T's. Rotation now comes through. They've locked down CT. They're pretty happy with what they've found so far. And with that Spike going down on the bridge, they should be able to set up in the post flank quite well. But I'm looking at this flank from Laz with the AK.
Yeah, there's some deadly damage available for Full Sense at the moment, but that flank will be spotted. 1, 2, 3 going pretty large. He is in charge back onto this Mongols roster. I wouldn't even be surprised if Laz just decides to save the Vandal in the next round. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, pretty smart.
One enemy remaining.
Cruise on through. Don't want to give him the ace
flank
at this
he
point.
broke the trip.
He wants to do some damage. I just sort of think that, you know, 123 really wants to try and find that ace, but limited time. Next is going to take him down. And that is a fantastic round there from the Mongols to respond. Again, obviously just a bonus for full sense, but they did have a pretty happy looking economy. But I think you pointed it out quite well, right? You know, when they were spotted in mid, MNFia would have been able to give that information. They take all of the side of 8. And it was a pretty easy lockdown there for 123.
Yeah, it'll be some good feelers in the beginning of this map as well, that both teams are, you know, getting the pistol round, getting a nice anti-eco round, getting a pretty good space control adventure on that A side as well for the Mongols there. So these are, you know, both teams figuring things out nice and early. Now, some good damage for 123 in that round where he's one away from the Blade Storm, which could be good on the turn on this next round. You can look for a little bit more risk for him, but it's a bit measured, of course, at the very beginning. We've also got this operator for Potter, who, once bitten, twice shy, isn't going to go for another A main aggression.
Really, really slow approach, isn't it? Just happy to sit there, holding the up line. One of the stars is dropped in case he does miss the shot. So he's going to be eyes on the next here, who does walk straight into that line. It could even be a collateral. It will be Komodo. Potter looking very, very nice with that operator here. Now Laz has to be careful. 119 will destroy the line. Actually chooses to walk into that cyber cage. So I think they're going to pop. They're going to try and fight this. Laz is going to have a pretty tough time trying to lock down this position, but he's happy to play away. But MNFia drops him in the process from the tower.
Can't use that yet.
A little bit surprised that they did line up, not going to lie, when you consider how much scalability the Mongols agent core does have. But back in towards the B site in a 3 versus 3.
Left. Blocking sight.
Oh, that could have been everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But look how well they've turned this round around, right? 119 with a big flank. He should have all 3 here. Oh, a little dicey. Potter makes the round potentially impossible. Misses the shot, but low on HP. MNFia will take him. So despite the big one-man army in the form of Potter on this jet, he can't quite put the team in the backpack. And full sense, they drop another to the Mongols.
Yeah, not bad. Lots of trades to come on through. A little bit unfortunate for full sense when you consider the opening though, right? You're getting a 5 versus 3. You should be covering a lot of the map in that. You can go for a little bit of aggressive lean back over towards A and even retake over towards B, which is I thought that's what they were gonna do. Not gonna lie to you there. So a little bit surprised that the Mongols were able to just sneak their way back in towards sites and get on up. You know, credit where credit is due. Individual firepower for all these players so far seems to actually be ready. You know, sometimes we do have some slow starts from a couple of these teams. We've seen it already throughout the course of this SEA league. As we do just have a bit of a mid-progression standard utility changed this time, with Laz's util being more prominent on the side itself instead of the mid-hold.
Just cruising. Smoke down. Buy some time. Happy to push away this mid-aggression now. Sky is blue, dropping back with the rest of the team. They will posture up towards B now, Komodo. It's a pretty good setup, though, it looks like, from Laz. But again, only with that Sheriff, it is going to be a tough time to try and deny it.
I like this regroup from the Mongols over towards the B site, however. It's some false info for full sense, as they do have 4 players go towards the A site. You need to see what stalling power Laz does have on this B side itself, because it is only the Sheriff, right? It is this little half investment for full sense where they've got those Vandal, their Phantom over at the A site. If they just want to consider that we cut our losses here and go again at the next round, it's not the worst idea. They don't have any ultimates to really back themselves up in this round either. And now Mongols, they can set themselves up for a post.
Pretty well set. Good push in forward. Laz with a quick work. It's just absolute murder, isn't it, there? Like, not a single chance to get their way in at all. Full sense, they let Mongols live on 5 alive. Despite the drop of cons, they are looking very, very good. 123 has been performing quite nicely. 7-3 on that jet. Again, a previous entrant into this competition in Split 3 of last year. And again, a couple of those teams, obviously Mongolia, you know, not exactly a team or a region rather that had those entry slots outside of Premier. So it's nice to see that a number of the names are still hanging around.
Yeah, sure. Lots of backing up on the economy now, though, for the Mongols. Good padding on the back of those previous 2 rounds. Operators on both sides, and then I'll echo out as well. Some damage delivered on towards Potter, so you have to be a little bit careful, but that's the benefit of an operator, right? can still go for a peek and get away after the one. I do like this mid-aggression from the Mongols at the moment. They're seeing, what, there's 3 players now around this mid area. See if there's any overextensions from them. How has Sky is Blue managed to find Potter on that one? At least the trade from Leviathan, but I'm looking towards what Kilo was doing. He's getting very risky for an A main peek. He somehow wins that one.
Damn. Completely ready for it too. So Leviathan, he's managed to pick up an op. He went into this round with not a hell of a lot. So
Spike
traded
down
out.
B.
Well done. They are doing pretty well here. Spike now dropped forward, rolls into position. 1, 2, 3 has to hit the line. Great shot. You always love to see those quick little peaks, and you never got to count these two out again.
Exactly.
You know, both of them have been playing fantastically so far, and that Sephiroth being taken down. So Leviathan and Killer have to retake here. They were the ones that got aggressive a little bit earlier.
Left.
They knew that he was hanging around this B site too, so just the bait on that neural theft to draw out the duel to go for it. Thrash isn't going to meet its depth enough. So for this 2 versus 2 and both players coming from heaven, this actually becomes a little bit more strugglesome for Full Sense. No smokes. The wingman off.
Nothing either, so really, really awkward. 1, 2, 3 drops another. And with Leviathan having to force his way in with the off, you know, it's only on the Sova. He doesn't have that additional sort of kit to work with. So he just has to tap onto the defuse, and they can play this high-low, and they will find him. Man, that was a 2-on-4, Komodo.
Yeah.
What a round again from the 2 leaders here in 1, 2, 3 and 119.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 is having a bit of a belter at the beginning of this game. Yeah. I'm very impressed by the angles and the pre-fires that he's looking to lock down. You know, some individual brilliance, at least for a lot of these members too, right? Getting engaged in these duels, winning them nicely. You know, Sky's Blue to start us off there. We got a trade coming forwards, but man, 1, 2, 3 is extremely sharp with it. Great calls, you know, from our armchair position. It feels like we're getting great calls from the Mongols and how they want to path around this map. Definitely. And even the risks, right? The Killer was trying to take in a main. I don't really like it.
You are divided.
We'll see if they do continue to do it. Right now, it's one of those rounds where it's another half investment from Full Sense. A bit of a misread from Mongols, investing a Cosmic Divide and a Null Command. But hey, they will get refreshed.
And all Laz needs to do is wait, right? You know, he's been one of these players that has struggled a little bit in this match so far. So the rotation will come around in full. They are peeping their way in towards main. 1, 2, 3 does have the line towards defender's side and spawn, but they've got to be so careful here. 119's about to walk into it. The Dizzy that's going to drop one. Potter finds the opening. Will pop in. Wingman will be destroyed, and 1, 2, 3 tries to dive a bit too far. Potter does take a hell of a lot of damage, but now they leave it onto this 2-on-5, make it a 1-on-5. And after losing a 2-on-4, they win a half buy, kind of. Forced buy, whatever you want to call it. But that's Full Sense back on the board.
Half buy, thrifty, according to the game here. You're coming in with 2 primary rifles and the rest on the Sheriffs. But, you know, leading the charge, Potter with the Blade Storm. Absolutely great shots, great alignment with Keeler as well, right? Timing on the back of the Trapwire, Dizzy on in, Sharpie on a 119, and the rest of the team as well is not too phased in waiting for a security peak, waiting for the team to scale in towards the site. It's actually optimal pathing from Full Sense in how they want to navigate a retake round such as that, and that's actually going to throw a spanner in the works for the Mongols because they need to wrench some things and have a bit of a chit-chat, it feels like.
Yeah, definitely. I think a good response there from Full Sense, definitely one that they needed, right? You know, losing 4 on the trot is always a bit tough, and there were 4 very convincing rounds from the Mongols where Full Sense were kind of wrestling their economy. So the fact that they found that is always a little bit shocking. So called for a tech pause in the end. So
yeah, I don't like this one.
Going to be, we'll see who's it on. You'd only assume that it's on the Mongol side.
Yeah, you never like a tech pause when you're potentially feeling some momentum in towards the game. Kilo are just having a little bit of an aim fest in his spawn with his teammates. Gotta stay warm. And just looking at the radar and he's spinning around, popping some shots.
Just having a good time. That's what you got to do, right? At the end of the day, video games need to be fun. And you assume that these guys, obviously all playing on LAN in their own rights. It is online servers, of course, but all playing grouped together, same location for both these teams, to my understanding. Only real change for the Mongols being the addition of 1, 2, 3 in recent times. Artie stepping away from the roster late last year to seek some new opportunities. It was very entertaining watching that man's Twitter as he journeyed around Japan and other places.
Yeah, true.
But, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Thai scene, they've got a hell of a lot to offer in the titles that they're involved in.
Masters soon.
Masters soon in Bangkok, needing that Thai representation. Don't know if there's going to be any chance for it, though, at this point in time, is there?
It's already
L cut? Yeah.
Already in the bin.
Because we've seen, like, I was talking about it with Vic only a couple of weeks ago when we were in Shanghai. In early days, Thai had a massive, massive rep at the world stage for Valorant with Xerxia and the like.
Well, we'll see if they can get back onto that scale, of course. More chances throughout the course of the year. Come Ascension, there's always a chance for, you know, any region to step up. Depending on how the Ascended teams, you know, play throughout the course of the year as well, right?
Yeah, well, I just personally think, you know, after seeing what Nongshim's been able to do in the last 12 months, it's certainly got to put a lot of sweat on some of these players, and also how Korea-dominated APAC seems to be right now.
Well, that's it, isn't it? VCT Pacific, VCT KR.
Yeah, pretty much. It's certainly getting there. I mean, that was always the case in League of Legends. Korea was a very, very strong league until China got involved.
Yeah, well, you might have thought that the tech pause would still be on, folks, with the lull on the action at the moment, but it does look like with a minute played on the clock that eventually we'll have a first how do you do between these two teams. A drone and a cam going in towards the B site, where Potter is aligned with this operator.
Oh, nasty miss, though. And now they're going to get aggressive all the way in here. It is going to be that Hunter's Fury pop as well. 1-2-3 has the line, but Potter will be able to connect. A super important shot as they now walk around the corner. Leviathan will defend, but now it is going to be Nexi, dropping him down towards the corner, back of sight. Mosh will force him away for now, but Hunter's Fury the same. Will it connect on the spike? Oh, it will. Double up. And Leviathan may even get a final warning as well, but no. They're just going to have to walk through the Cosmic Divide there. MN Fear dropping one. Killua already onto the defuse. Oh, no! He will be able to find it, though, in the end. The Wingman, I thought there was potentially going to be a little bit of a dance, but Leviathan putting himself back on the board there with a 3K.
I like that assistive utility to come through from the support cast on Full Sense, actually, right?
For sure.
I mentioned earlier on, they have to be kind of aligned when you're playing a map like Abyss with this agent composition. One of the strengths on it. Cosmic Divide goes down. In combination, you got Killua's Dizzy and Leviathan's Hunter's Fury coming on out. So a blinded Nexi going for a plant gets tagged up by the bolts. Yes, he gets the plant down, but it's an immediate stretch on towards the retake. And when you've got the scalability from the top of the side as well, you can do the dance around the walls. That's really neat to come out from Full Sense. You know, it's kind of one of those things where I would like to see that adopted a little bit more when it does come to this map, for anyone who is running on a Gecko, because currently we're seeing your FPX run a Gecko on this map. We're seeing 100 Thieves more prominently run a Gecko on the map. It's a very similar composition, actually, just substituting out the Astra that we see here for the Omen. So it's always these, you know, unique initiatives that a couple of different agent changes in your mix can provide you very different styles of retake, of attacking. So I really do like that little initiative from Full Sense there.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just such a key factor of Valorant, right, that we've yammered on about for so long, how, you know, there's agents, every agent can do the shooting, but how well you use that additional utility to get yourself back in. And I think a massively important round for Leviathan there, and also Killua, you know, their utility is the one that kind of slowed down the offense and then gave them enough space to get that retake back. So forced Mongols into attack timeout this time, and on the flip side, they've decided to call a very, very quick round. They're all in a main. We are going to see the flash drive over the top. 1-2-3 straight in. The Mosh will at least do some damage, but around the bend, 1-2-3 already dropping it now. Killua is basically just going to have to wait for the rest of the team to join his position now.
Good Zero points out, though, how much time is it going to actually stall for as the Nebula starts to fade over towards security. 1-2-3 is getting quite antsy with it. Can't get it done. Potter in for one as well, but as the plant goes down, it's advantage over to Mongols.
Yeah, trades, and that double up there made it really, really awkward for Potter. And even though MN will be spotted, he gets his Owl drone up himself, and now that makes it really, really awkward for Killua. Has to try and fight the fight, but 119 is going to deny it. All left onto Leviathan in this 1 versus 3, and it's such an awkward line. They would have to peek all the wrong way, and they may be doing it, Komodo. 119 can go back in towards main. Cage will be tripped. They start to walk on in, and I don't know if Leviathan's got it in him. It's not in a position. Can't actually go for this. He's going to have to peek around, but no. Just sees his little booty on the back. And a good effort there from Leviathan. Got it half tick, but in the end, 119 was able to peak at the right time.
It gets close though, doesn't it? Nearly the 1 versus 3 at the end there for Leviathan. I'm looking at the beginning of that one when it was the call for the fast-paced plays. The cloudbursts go down. I saw the Dizzy. I thought it actually gooed out on towards 123, but it was the flash drive actually that came on out at the same time and provided him the earlier peak and protection to get deep in towards the site. So really well executed for the Mongols. You know, quite the simple A take, but adjusting in the mix when you're throwing a little bit of your utility your way as well.
Take flight.
So how do they approach now, the Mongols? Licking their wounds out of that round. It is a quicker approach up towards B once more. 1, 2, 3, straight into the cloudburst. Nebula is there as well to force his way in. He does get an opening here. No. Now Sephiroth trying to peek on through, but can't find the right timing. Does get 1, 2, 3 in the end, but he's tagged up in the process. Skies Blue get the trade back. Flash drive to try and break the space. Some shots back, but the Dizzy will force him away. Killua now just to buy some additional time.
3v3. Good north of that, actually. That might even cause a little bit of time and stop you from going for a full retake. Enough time to get a plant down.
Does allow that sort of time for Full Sense to go for a pretty quick retake, though, right? All three coming now through the link. They will progress over towards the site slowly. No hat on the head of Laz. Now the wingman going on out, starting to have a little bit of a look. Diving up with the updraft there. MN Fear trying to keep the information and the focus. Potter able to deny it. The regen shield does start to go through. Killua drops Sky is Blue, so it's all left on 119 again. He's got 3, 6 bullets in the chamber. Killua lowers anything, holding the line. And 119 will be the hero again. The Mongols deserve a 6th round secured for the Mongolian side, and the Sentinel getting the job done again. 11-5.
Another round, though, where it's only 1 player surviving for the Mongols, so they need to be just a little bit careful for these remaining 2 rounds. Be interesting to see what the turnout in this next round actually is. You know, they can have a breath of fresh air if it has to be an eco over the side of Full Sense, and I'm looking at it. It's exactly what has to happen here. I mean, you look at Nexi, right? He's got 50 credits in the change on light shields and getting out the Vandal. I didn't catch how many stars he's got playing on the Astra, but you know, you want 5 in this current situation. You want all of your utility available. It's one of the positives that the Mongols have been having on this attacking side. Nexi playing a little bit in the deeper line behind the team, but not being too scared to actually get down and dirty with the team to find the space. So with this timeout for Full Sense, it is one of these situations where if they're losing this round and the next, right, that's an 8-4 half. You're talking about the pistol needing to be cemented in the next half. Otherwise, this map can get away from you pretty quickly.
Yeah, Full Sense again. A team that we've seen across pretty high levels of competition. You know, the individuals there, not quite up there with, you know, some of the players that we've seen across the likes of Xerxia, but a very, very solid group of players. And they always seem to just sort of put themselves on the back foot a little bit. You know, maybe some indecision. The individual skill and some of these rounds that we see as a team, it's certainly there. The capacity ain't limited. But I feel like they've got quite a low floor and a high ceiling, you know?
I must wait a moment.
Yeah. Definitely want to see the value that the Thrash is going to have for Killua as well, right? Because at one point in time, Gecko was one of those agents that was very, very commonly picked. But since the nerf, he's kind of fallen away. And that is one of the reasons why Fracture was so delayed as well, right? Because you got that fish ult, as powerful as it was. Pick up 4+ ult points around the map each round as a Gecko. Well, you're getting your ult every second round. It would have been very scary.
Yeah. For sure.
But this round's another one of those ones for Full Sense where it's a full house for him. 3 pistols, 2 Vandals. But again, it's Mongols going back to what's working for them. A silent creep up through mid, an eventual split where they leave 1 player towards top mid generally. But this time, they don't want to have any of that. They just want to stretch straight out to B.
Absolutely. And with that suppression, making it very, very awkward straight through the link. And look at this rotation. They're all trying to pick up the pieces here.
30
and with
seconds
1, 2, 3 up in heaven, it is going to be tough. That Thrash does start to head out, but again, you know it's going to be destroyed there, and unfortunately, that's the only Vandal on their side. Sky is Blue dropping with the fragment, and 119 getting some further damage done, so that's 5 alive for the Mongols. Absolutely flawless. As 1 round in the half remains.
The duality, though, of the Full Sense half buys, right, where we get 2 guns and 3 pistols, This time it's a flawless over towards the Mongols, an absolute shutdown. Last time it was like the thrifty call for full sense with all 5 alive. Quite the start difference and a different play as well, right? Mongols, as I mentioned, falling back to something that was true for them. Stretch out through mid, peel away into the B site with a later scale up that B main ramp. Worked really nicely for them to stretch out this lead to try and achieve that 8-4 half that I was mentioning during that full sense timeout.
It set him up pretty nicely for success in this series, wouldn't it? Pot up, forced away by the Null Command, getting really awkward. The Nova Pulse just misses him as well, but he actually gets a right click onto 123 inside the Chaos, and he can walk away now, pick the operator back up. Sky is blue, looking to try and get that plant, but they're waiting on the other side of this Cosmic Divide. Potter, the position is so unknown. He misses a couple of the blades, but he does connect, and it's Killua to do so much for the team. 119 has a long way to try and rotate around here. Does drop into position, but Killua will find him. And Komodo, that is a nice little result there from Full Sense. But again, it's a less of an effort by committee, right? It has to be those individuals picking up to the plate. Really solid half at the end there from the Mongols on the attacker's side. But as they shift over to the defense, will it be a better prospect for them? And will they sort of push back onto the Mongols' deniers and try and walk away with a victory here?
This is a quicker one from Full Sense in towards this A side into the trap. Immediate decapitation from 119. Looking to stretch this one out as well. This is where things get awkward, Mitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know sort of what's happening, right? They've just completely been minced. Laz still all the way back down towards mid. He will get a spot onto Nexi, but unfortunately can't tap the heads with that Ghost. And that means that Mongols will walk away with the pistol round. And I just feel like Full Sense didn't kind of give it their all in that round, hey? It was a little bit disjointed on the offense.
So the interesting thing for me, where the stats kind of lie, I'll go to say, is for the Mongols in their history on this map of Abyss, right? They're 50-50, oh, they're 50% defensive round winning, right? 53 to 52. Majority of the maps they're playing, they're starting on the defense though, so they're getting more depth on towards that, and they're closing out the games on their attacking side. So it was kind of nice that they were able to get it towards a 7-5, right? But it's this defensive side where now they actually are pushed to play potential more rounds that I'm interested in what depth they actually have on this defensive side.
Another plant coming in.
Spike planted.
But again, at a bit of a weaker prospect, so a toughie to hold. Losing this one against the Thrifty would be pretty rough, so there's going to be some good damage found out. Leviathan, though, making it scary, Komodo. These are the rounds that you don't exactly want to be witnessing if you're a fan of the Mongols. I mean, look, you know, these happen in Valorant all the damn time, and with, unfortunately, that position where Nexi's brought up just the Ghost, taking it in from the previous round into the bonus, and with that timer ticking, look at the playback from Sephiroth all the way away, the tag up onto Nexi. That is a massive round for Leviathan. I mean, you know, I've shouted his name many a time, Komodo, but a brilliant 50 to come on through with just the classics, a free weapon and a right click.
I mean, there was no way that Nexi was winning that one in the end when you consider that it's Sephiroth and Leviathan alive. You got 2 shock darts available, but they would generally only come after you would have the gravity well pull. And even then, I mean, there's just a outlaw that he's just bopping around on. So, well done by Leviathan. And so back with the Thrifty from Full Sense yet again. And that throws a little bit of a bad smell in this wind as well, right? Because those are the rounds that should be a gimme for the Mongols. They should be winning those ones every day. And it affords Full Sense a bit of a chance to get a good start on this attacking side now.
I was going to say, Komodo, you know, it's one of those positions where you sort of sit there and say, guys at home, don't worry when you lose your classic round. The pros do it too, but I actually sort of take that back because it's not excusable to lose rounds like that. But they do happen. And a little bit of that chaos with those right clicks inside the nebula and such. But Laz opening up nicely with that Marshall, getting the 2K on the players trying to walk down mid. And so far, it's a pretty good counter by... Because the investment is going to still be a little bit uncomfortable for the Mongols into the next round with this money. Yeah. Maybe they even just half again, so Full Sense just need to make sure that they take it 100 here, right?
They've done the math. They'll have a full fight the next round just on the little tail end of all these kills here. It's just who's farming up orbs really for Full Sense. It's Killua getting 2 off the fish ult of the Thrash. Nexi, I mean, he stayed most prominently on 3350, so he'll have all the money coming in towards his back pocket. The rest of the team should be all right with the buy as well. The only caveat I'll add to this, if they want to get an operator out on this defensive side, if Nexi's not the one to be, you know, kind of dropping that one over, which it looks like he is, which is why he was holding it, I was going to say they'd go for a half buy, especially when you think that there might still be that outlaw, but that's reduced by full sense here. So they do the math enough that they've got 4 sets of light shields, and they got the operator in the mix of 1, 2, 3, who again has been stellar on those attacking sided openers. But now when you call him to arms on this defensive side, he's sniping little blobs out of the air. He does lose his teammate in Sky's Blue though first.
Pretty good counter reaction there, I would say, from Full Sense. They had a great setup there, the Mongols, to try and push their way down the B ramp, but they've done pretty nicely. They do have to make work of the utility, though, put down by 119. The Cypher lockdown, all in position. Astra now joins Nexi. We'll be able to drop another start. Try to put down that grab well at some point if he chooses. He's going to be one of the trips destroyed. And now with little buddy going in there to get that spike planted. It's a good setup position for Full Sense.
Killua only needs 1 kill as well. Cementing a Thrash in this current point in time could actually be quite monstrous for Full Sense.
All the way set back, right? Good opportunity here for Killua, but as 1, 2, 3 finds that entry back in, Leviathan going down, and now with him on the line, he can really shift his way forward. Otto does manage to find another up on this flank, and he drops 1, 2, 3, so it's A-okay. 119 will be able to find another, but in the end, it's Killua doing a lot of work once more. Does get that Thrash, but obviously not needed here, so it's tied scoreline 8-8. Mongols letting it slip a little bit here on this defender side so far.
Yeah, not needed, but he was the one to get that secondary kill in towards the round as well, so that if they did get a little bit hairy in the chaos of that retake, he could drop it down, right, and be used as a scare tactic, or, you know, albeit it actually does what it needs to do and gets a suppress in towards it, detain rather. So well done for Full Sense. They activate another round onto the board, and they are looking pretty good for doubling down now, right? Where you're forcing out a timeout here from the Mongols, who really stretched the economy in that last round to get out that operator, as I said. From Nexi's saving more prominently in the previous round. They had 4 sets of light shields there, so this is got to be one of those rounds where they want to stem the bleeding, right? They want to make sure that if they're taking this eco right now, that they're coming up with a game plan to get back in towards it after, because if you're letting Full Sense find momentum on this attacking side, when they're not doing anything too fancy, by the way, a lot of these rounds so far that we've seen, you know, besides that pistol round and they're getting that thrifty, is, you know, sending it quickly, destroying the trap wire that's in their face, wingman planting, and then defending.
Yeah.
Pretty cut and dry.
Utility from the Gecko, right? You know, it gives you a little bit of extra versatility as opposed to having the KO there. But overall, yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty similar approach from the Mongols, just going in nice and quick off the back of 1, 2, 3. So the rest of the team kind of slacking a little bit. You know, you really do need to rely on your Astra, on your Sova on a half like this. You can get away with the KO, getting those entries.
I mean, I love the awareness from Full Sense as well, recognizing what the buy situation is from the Mongols, and Sephiroth getting out this outlaw. He could make mincemeat of them.
Spike planted.
Quick shot, though, from 1, 2, 3. He can work off the back of that. Maybe there's an opportunity. Killua over the top, though, and inside that Nebula will fall 119. So you're not going to get too concerned off the back of that opening shot just yet. The rest of the players now tucking their way back towards the main position of B. Back into that tower. Cruising on out now. Just leaving the Soul member in Leviathan up very, very close. Does get tagged. Good shot from Fear, but in the end, Killua again doing good bits of damage. Nexi can't even connect the shot into Leviathan as well. He hits the hard one in the end, but that means he can just pick up a Vandal, hopefully. Does swing in, and he gets another shot. Killua very low, but no time, of course. So he's just going to have to go down to that Radiant. The spike will execute now. And he will be falling right on the tippy toe there. So Full Sense taking the lead. 9 rounds secured.
Great damage from the Mongols at the end of that round, though. You know, when there's only one player surviving, and albeit, what was it, 2 HP at the end there, I think it was. You consider you want to keep your economy, your opponent's economy rather, in check. That certainly is a good way to do it. But I'm asking the question, right? I mentioned it before, Mitch. A lot of these games that we've seen from the Mongols so far on Abyss, they started off on the defensive side. So they're able to dictate their own pace early on with not much tape that the opponents have had to see in how to react. Now that it's the second half on the map, you changes your approach because you're looking to close out this game. Mongols are not finding good groundwork yet on this defensive side. And every time they might have a read, what are Full Sense doing, Mitch? They change what they do on attack.
Absolutely. And you know, for the Mongols, with the newest edition, 123, kind of leading the charge, and 119, similar story.
This could be big.
Need the rest of the team there to support, and that's what they try to do, but... You know, even with the approach that they've just found, they try to send the two members, Sky is Blue and Nexi, who haven't been having the best of games. They can't go in. Potter finds Sky is Blue. They were ready for that flash play in Komodo, and now as that spike gets planted, it's just so damn hard. You almost want to consider saving it around like this.
You got no smokes. You got no smokes bar 123's cloud bursts.
Enemy kill.
Tapping away. Potter drops it. 123, able to find Leviathan, but again, it's just too hard, isn't it? Potter denies, and unfortunately all left onto 119, who will secure a nice shot, but there's Laz on the flip side. And I just, again, draw everyone's attention to the kill disparity when it comes up after the highlights. Because, yeah, it is really just namely that effort by committee, except for one member for the side of Full Sense, where most of the Mongols right now is caught lacking.
That flash could have been huge. You know, those are the sort of situations where you actually do see a lot of the top echelon teams on this map have a star ready as well for a grab well or a concuss, because you got the flash coming in with either of those. You're absolutely murdering your opponents in those times. The pop flash doesn't get the job done by itself at the end there, unfortunately. And the Mongols are just back to this eco round where it's starting to feel like this map might be getting away from them. Economy again is looking really good for Full Sense. They're changing their game plan on attack time and time again. Those always incentivize these defensive teams to drop some utility early to figure out what is happening around the map. And for a situation like this as well, you know, for the Mongols, they need an individual, you know, heroical play. It has to, I feel like, come from 123. He's been the tip of the spear to push this team forward time and time again. He's got the blades out now.
He's also got the support of 119 there too. But I do like this aggressive approach from Full Sense. You know, no respect, straight up mid. They get the information, they push MNF up back into Link. And now they reassess their position. They approach towards B. And only 119 is there. I mean, 123, look, if he gets a couple of shots with his blades, maybe there's a chance, as you said, but it's going to be tough.
They're at the right spot. They're at the right spot. They just need to make sure that they've got their eyes on the prize.
Has to burn some as well, destroying that Dizzy. So they just wait inside this Nebula, pushing forward. 119. This is where it gets scary. Komodo drops one, but Killua is going to be able to deny. MN Fear does find one with the 100 Fury. They have to duck and weave to get around from it, though. But there's another Killua drop. 3 versus 2. Potter now with the heavy lifting as he is up on towards that site. Will be able to destroy the recon dart. Now as they move on in the underarm of the flash drive. Sky is Blue. Gets it done. It's Sephiroth who has to be the hero. Onto the defuse. They're coming around the corner, though. He gets another Sephiroth. Making it work. The man with the Mazamune holds patience. And he looks into the face of MN Fear as he swings around the corner. It'll be done. Nicely found. Ultimate moment there for Sephiroth. As a clutch situation is secured. 11 picked up.
He's just not reading into a defuse there from MN Fear whatsoever, is he? That felt like it really was the only extra strategy, where I was kind of surprised with 20 seconds to go on the clock and the plant just going down. You're not using that Hunter's Fury to deny Wingman, right? There's only so many positions on the B side of this map that you can start to get the plant safely when you've got your team surrounding the site as well. Hunter's Fury at that point, you're dropping down towards a plant location. That's an exit way. That's a way to win those sort of rounds. So a little bit of a mistake for the Mongols, focusing on finding the damage instead. At least this round now, they're going to be focused back into actually getting on this defensive side, though, right? Because they've got the guns available. Wingman goes in, and he's going to get that plant down.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Trying to make it work. But Wingman has been destroyed. Each did his best. Now they're going to make quick work of it. Getting that Cosmic Divide down. And, yeah, look, 119 has got the kill to the fall damage. So it's all a little bit chaotic here in this 3-on-3 Komodo. That Null Command will continue to pulse. The Sky is Blue has been taken down. MN Fear finds Laz, though. It's a little bit chaotic here as that Cosmic Divide is making it very, very awkward. Both Killua and Sephiroth now left in this 2-on-2. They just sit inside the nebula. As soon as that pops, Killua is going to have to strike, but they're careful for him in fear. He's just sitting, waiting in the wings, seeing if he can get the shot, and he will. So that should give enough space. It should give enough time, and he peeks anyway. Killua looking for his gun, as the third round will be secured for Full Sense. 12 on the board now. Very, very nicely found from the Thai side. They have not slowed down at all. Mongols have found nothing in this half.
It feels like it could have gotten a little bit claustrophobic on the site as well when you got that flank coming through from MMFear that killed us there on towards Laz. But it's the patience that the Mongols go in with in that situation that I feel might bite them. Right? They've got the bridge smoke over it that Killua is sitting in, but you still have Sky Blue's pulses coming through. You still have no abilities of your opponents. If you're setting yourselves up to get around those cosmic divides, that would have been a way back in. But Mitch, I like this initiative from 1-2-3 at the moment. The problem is, he's literally been sent by himself. If he was backed up, that could have been huge, because what's happening in the kill feed right now? Full Sense are holding advantages on these trades.
Murder on the dance floor right now, which is coming to us in the form of the B site.
Well,
that's where a lot of this success. Yeah, exactly. They just keep tripping over, don't they?
Concealment.
Maybe able to buy some time. Neural theft utilized now as well. They've really got to get in here.
It's still not even a bad idea to just go in towards this B site, because you've got the Thrash and you've also got the Leviathan with the Hunter's Fury if this doesn't succeed.
He's got to be destroyed. Nexi, who again has had a little bit of a roughie, at least finds one. But Laz over the top, and with just 119 left, Leviathan will get a 3K. So it's been 3Ks for everyone on Full Sense. And you can see that they are very, very happy. As well as Leaf. He's even got a smile on his face, the man, the coach, the legend, getting it done for the team. So I think that's a pretty good result in the end there for Full Sense. A great turn of the tides, Komodo. An 8-4 half is not exactly the happiest position to be in. To deny every single round and put all of it together, finding 9 on the strike is absolutely beautiful for Full Sense. So well done to the Thai side. As we said, we sort of pit them as being the favorites in this one. But with that said, the Mongols looking very, very strong. 1-2-3, a pretty decent trade for cons, as we could see. But the rest of the team, unfortunately, they just weren't there. And it is an effort by committee. It is a team game in Valorant, and all 5 aren't operating. Sometimes it can be very hard to convert.
Yeah, I mean, early stages of this map, it looks like the Mongols might have been able to run away with it as well, right? Things were flowing for them, but late activators in Full Sense as a team, individually, I still think that they were doing pretty decent on that first half. Feels like that they were utilizing Killua's Gecko quite nicely, but he really started to shine on that attacking side when their game plan was go quick, change up our pace, and go slow when they're on an eco round as well to try and not get thrifted. I love the space that both of the teams were taking on the map as well. So I think that there's a lot of positives that these teams can take away from this map. It's just unfortunate for the Mongols that they're not able to steal away their opponents after having a pretty neat lead at the first half, because as we look to transition into the second map, Mitch, which is going to be Fracture, the Mongols have chosen that. I think it's a bit ballsy to immediately pick in towards, a team like Full Sense on the returning map with a new, new Full Sense roster coming forwards, right? I think now that you're a map down, are you changing your game plan ever so slightly in towards this next map? Because you also have to consider, just on the tail end of this one here, that Mongols are 5th out of 6 in their group.
Komodo, we're back. Haven't seen it in a hell of a long time personally, and I'm excited to see what these teams have on offer for us right now. As Full Sense lead the map and the charge 1-0 at present.
Yeah, well, I mean, whilst Mongols over in Abyss play an agent lineup that a couple of the franchise teams are actually running, coming on towards Fracture right now, the Mongols have picked an agent setup that no pro teams are running. The closest would be, running in with the Killjoy instead. We've seen a Sova instead, we've seen a Teho instead, so it feels like it's a little of a one-agent rotation for the lineup, where this is a quick one going in over towards Arcade. Oh god, this is chaos.
Trades back and forth already as well. Sky is blue, falls to Killua, but not before he takes down the trade of the Neons, right? Both already gone. So Laz has to buy his time. Couple of warning shots there onto Leviathan, but it's going to be Leviathan and Killua that pick up a couple of frags. Again, Full Sense have been looking pretty good so far in the, at least after having that warm-up, I suppose, opener. just ironing out the kinks. And now as they're here, it's a 2-on-4 situation. Despite that, Killua and Laz are quite low.
My camera is destroyed.
Oh, yeah. Damage is certainly plausible here. If the Mongols can get a cheeky open plant as well at this A side, it might not be the worst. 2 Sky Smokes dropped in from Nexi. A lot of angles to clear. You got 1 cage from 119. They actually get separated by the shear. Should be okay for them, but a little bit of paranoia does ensue with just waiting out for the timing of that one. And I don't know if that shear, Mitch, has actually just forced them to go for a safer plan, if it's made them feel a little bit too hot under the collar. But going in towards this retake right now, Leviathan will eventually have to destroy this trap wire, and that'll again bring a little bit of stuckness in towards the side itself.
Where are you?
So will they feel this pressure? Or will they be able to get back into it nicely?
Last player
19
standing.
swings wide, gets a couple of shots, but in the end, it's all on the Nexi. Let's see if he can pull away this. Definitely has the HP to do it. They line up 1 and 2, but the third will be a little bit too far-fetched, as it will be Sephiroth to close that one. So a nice opener for Full Sense, and they're going to give the defuse over to Killua, so he makes his way towards that Rolling Thunder. Beautiful stuff, nicely found, and a pistol for Full Sense.
Just kind of, you know, thinking in my head, right, where you've got meta agent compositions for a lot of the tier 1 teams. You know, when you ever deviate from it, it's generally going to be for a player comfortability. You know, when it's a single agent different, that's generally the case. The likes of, you know, Laz running in with the Vice here. You got like the Neon and the Brim and the Breach. Generally, you'll see a Sova in combination with this, but Leviathan feeling like the Fade is a little bit better. If they want to try and position a Seize and try and get some combos, they're going to have to be a little bit more deeper with that. So it's always a, you know, bit of an interesting decision for them. But with Full Sense picking up that defensive round, these, again, should be the gimme rounds. But we'll see. Sky is Blue's being launched on in with this Bucky. And he's missing.
Arc Rose popped. Gets a little bit of info straight off the rip. And Laz can happily just sort of tail his way around the back of the site. Wants to make sure he lives on there. Keeping 4 alive would be a fantastic result, as there's Pot up with the Marshal, ripping the head off of 119. And Full Sense have had a pretty happy start so far, but I remind you back to the previous map of Abyss, where we saw this exact start, and it turned on its head pretty bloody quickly once Mongols got moving.
It did, yes. But Mongols got moving on the back of 123, going pretty nuclear on the jet, right?
Of course.
Now we've got a big change up, actually, in the grand scheme of things, where 123 is going from a very mobile agent to kind of a stalwart assistive agent in the sky, and Sky is Blue is going from a KO robot to a Neon, which is Hold W.
I like that. Seems to work for a lot of Valorant players, Komodo. Sheer
certainly can.
blocks off Arcade, though, so no games will be played for now. And Laz is pretty happy to run his way away from there. It's locked off pretty much the whole team, just having the single member of 119 rotating around. They do drop back down towards 3, though, so a couple of members opting to go for this pincer approach.
Wouldn't actually mind it to be a little bit quicker for Full Sense now that the Shear has been popped at Arcade. Get this flank coming in when you've got a little bit of lesser weaponry to really lock Mongols into this B site.
Yeah, pop the Razor Vines now just to try some additional time, but yeah, 50 seconds. Laz making it work for now. Sky's Blue takes him down. 1, 2, 3 does get the trade up on the Sephiroth, but Laz is actually going to push in towards the high heavens, dropping down another straight in towards that Sky Smoke. MN Fear does drop him though in the end, pushing a little bit too far. A great little bit of information from the Haunt over the top, and yeah, I don't know, they're making this work right now. Still no spike to be planted yet for 1, 2, 3. Has to try and recover at the Prowler. Gets the info. Has to pop the second as well, but look at how close Potter is, Komodo. This just makes it so awkward. Poor 1, 2, 3 feels like he can barely breathe right now. Will look to try and tap the spike, but with Potter's positioning, he's already wrapping his way around into the tower. Looks to plant it now. All going to be on timing. 13 seconds. Can just bait it out. It's going to be the relay bolt and the frag. 1, 2, 3 will find Potter, but Leviathan's there to clutch it up, and the bonus goes the way of Full Sense.
Yeah, good trade, good stalling. Leviathan's 2 Prowlers to buy time to just, you know, set in stone that he's not going for the plant, to draw some attention. It's good to see that Potter doesn't overstay himself as well and then get a little bit too over-eager, rather pushing in. You know, a Neon player might just want to try and run and slide in that 2 versus 1 and go for the duel and get the round done, right? But there's a little bit of patience from him, recognizing that there's an outlaw in play, so they adjust accordingly. Time is on their side. They win by default if that timer hits 0 and there's no plant down. So really well decided round for Full Sense. They set themselves up nicely for maybe even a 4-0, unless Sky is Blue leading with a judge can change things up.
Blind is dead.
Again, those Razor Vines making it a little bit awkward, but Sky is Blue straight into the helping arms of Laz. Shia does break away some of these members, but at the end of the day, they are coming through the drop position. As 1-2-3 is the only one to sort of find a frag here. It's going to be Leviathan to close around again, and a nice quick 4-0 for Full Sense. They did invest a little bit into that one, the Mongols as well. So, yeah, feeling the sweat a little bit right now as Full Sense. You know, it's a map where I suppose you could favor the attacker's side in the current meta, but the way that Full Sense are playing this is they're pretty happy to, you know, not get too over-aggressive Komodo and just sit back, relax, and wait for the Mongols to come to them.
I mean, it's early stages in this map that it's come on back, right? But we've seen 4 installments of play for the Mongols already, so there's a little bit of tape that you can get some, you know, good information from for the likes of Full Sense, right? We know these teams are putting in their research, the hard yakka, to get these dubs, to get the money, to get the points for these teams that aren't the academy teams. You know, we've seen different agent lineups as well coming out from the Mongols as well. They have dived into running in with the Teho instead of the Breach and then the Raze composition. But for Full Sense, this is the first time they've played it, right? So they're, you know, scrims must be going well for this map to let it through and not instantly banning it out in this veto. You combo that with doing a bit of research on towards the Mongols in this game, and you've won map number 1. Then this is a great start for Full Sense. You know, things aligning for them. Really happy with how they're playing around this map at the moment. I am as well, because I'm liking how they're using this Vice too, changing out these shear walls. It's giving Laz some great information when it's near him as well, and where his crosshair needs to be focused. We are seeing, you know, Sky's Blue try and bait out these walls and everything, but again, that's just more information around the map for Full Sense to start to take space elsewhere.
I'm out of here.
All right. Trying to get a little bit of extra control. Again, it's that aggressive play. Look at the walk in towards main. Trying to get all that control.
That's what I'm talking about, right? Just the stalling utility. Oh, yeah. What a shot from Laz.
Can just do a solo almost. You know, Sephiroth is here to play the party now, but it's going to be the Steel Garden coming on through as well to bait some additional time, but it's not even needed. Just forcing all these members away. 119 doesn't even get to play in this round. 123 does have the Seekers, but it's definitely not worth popping them. He might get a kill. Oh my god, Sephiroth just slices his bloody head off. Full Sense are just dominating here, Komodo, right now.
Just want to highlight that was a gun round for the Mongols.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And they got picked apart. I feel like Sky is Blue is getting a little bit ahead of himself on this map often, right? He's very disconnected from the team, getting in front of all the utility. Where you're looking at this composition of the Mongols, you're looking for good guiding lights, good flashpoints, and good fault lines for Sky is Blue to get set up. You're looking for good little lurks from 119 and good timing on the smokes and assistive variety for Nexi, right? That's how this composition generally plays. We're not really seeing too much of that at the moment. Instead, we're seeing them trying to bait out the wall and bait out the utility of Laz, and they're just getting picked apart around that utility.
Razorvine keeping him at bay again. Laz's utility on this Vice has been bloody phenomenal, hasn't it?
He's been at the right spot at the right time every single time.
Even with the Arcro somehow manages to get taken down, but it's enough utility that Sephiroth gets the bloody 3k with the orbital strike. I mean, look, again, just an eco, but still.
The plant's down and you got a Rolling Thunder. Does it entice you?
Potentially. I mean, look, if 119 gets one here, he waited for it. Yeah, they've got to pop it, but it does make it very, very awkward because he has to try get away from it now. Potter pushes into position, does manage to dodge it. MN Fear, I think, is okay. 119 gets his way into drop, as he mentioned. Fast lane will go out, so Potter is going to try and fail the narrative, but look at that. Great timing on the flashpoint. Leviathan last, though. And he can breathe a sigh of relief. He is cheering. Yeah, exactly right. You can I think that round, even though it was a half buy, and even though it was close, I think that one's going to hurt Mongols more than the other rounds, given how close that was and how much they invested to try and turn the tides.
That's it, isn't it? The fact that you're dropping in some ultimates into this mix. I just want to highlight the beginning utility, right? Number one, Laz is in the right spot at the right time yet again with the Razor Vines. That puts out some stalling play. So everyone goes deep in towards Sands, and what do they get met by? They're slowed, they get aftershocked, and then Sephiroth just rains down Hellfire, and they get orbital strikes. That is gorgeous from Full Sense. 6 rounds on this defensive side is more than enough.
More than enough. And, you know, they are showing no signs of stopping, which I think is the best sort of thing here. Full Sense have been clean with it. Haven't really shown any signs of weakness. They played rounds very slow. They've picked up the pace for some as well. Potter destroys the trip. Happy to fall away.
Smart move. My ult's ready.
Great shot from Sky is Blue, though. So that's the first kind of opening that we've actually seen from Mongols.
Yeah, gonna try and use the neural theft now to piece together some early information, and it might be the time to just blow out in towards this A site and get in front of Laz's utility. The shear wall isn't over at main at the moment, but the Razor Vines are destroyed, so this is actually really good for the Mongols now.
Exactly, I think, though, Sky is Blue almost overlooking that angle. Leviathan, a couple of warning shots, does get lucky with that Phantom Spray through the Sky Smoke, so they've got utility, they've got the Nightfall, they've got the Rolling Thunder. I think they're going to want to go for this here.
They could drop both and remove all information and, you know, stunning them up.
Yeah. Now they're going to go for this as well. The Rolling Thunder does go through. Potter really picks up the pace. That Relay Bolt's going to catch 1, 2, 3. Now the Orbital Strike goes in, but it's a little bit too far. The corner. Potter. Oh, he almost has the fancy feet. He gets taken down. Now it's on to Killua, who already has popped this Rolling Thunder. Does have both flashpoints to work with. He knows where one member should be inside this corner. Where's that spike? A little bit of an overpeak there from Nexi, but now it should bait them in. 119 surely has to drop down, has to try and give them something, but they're relying on this. They know it's a tap. They know it's not yet to half, and they have not given up a single piece of information at all. Nexi is going to be going down, and without it half picked on that defuse, that's the first round coming in for the Mongols, and guess what it starts with, Komodo? That single opening frag.
Yeah, it starts with that one and extends out with Sky's Blue getting, you know, the kill that you thought that they might overlook, right? But I gotta say, a heavy investment on both sides, and with everybody falling on the Mongols side, it could look a little bit awkward. I was looking at that ending situation there for Potter as well. I think he was wanting to get the sprint and slide activated, and he just couldn't quite get it in time to be able to get the third kill. If he was able to, I think that would have been the difference maker to turn it into their favor.
Definitely.
2 versus 1, get on the spike and stick it down, right? So, you know, a woeful economy situation for the Mongols may be averted with the plant, with the kills from the backup economy that they had previously. They get out, you know, everything bar 2 Vandals, 2 Guardians in the mix instead, and 2 Light Shields across the board as well. So enough to work with for sure for the Mongols in this round as they go for a more slower approach towards this B site.
Sephiroth forced away as well, back into Canteen. So he's not going to be able to aggress just yet. Laz does some good damage there. 1, 2, 3. Sky is Blue will get the regrowth out now as the fast lane's coming in. They are going to try wrap on towards this position. Razorvine is there. The Aftershock is going to put Laz into an awkward position, but he still gets one somehow. So does Killua. Again, this defense, Komodo, from the side of Full Sense is just looking absolutely... yeah, damning, right? You know, they are locking it down so well. Solitary confinement for these guys, it feels like. A 3K for Laz on the Vice, who has been my hero, right? You saw my Vice the other day, Komodo. It certainly wasn't as clean as this one.
For reference, Conky hadn't played Vice before.
No, I have. That's the worst part.
He asked me who do I play. I said Vice, and let's just say he didn't have a fun time.
Yeah, look, the one thing I can pride myself on as a play-by-play caster is I don't have to be good at the game as long as I play it.
That's fair. What I was gonna say is actually it doesn't really matter. There's an eco coming through in this round. Really nice for the Mongols. If they can try and convert this round on the back of the fast feet by Sky is Blue and an overdrive, but that overdrive is just going to expire because he's found no kills and stalled out by
just Laz, he's everywhere.
Yeah,
he's switching between A and B, and I just feel like they get it every time.
There's 4 members here. There's a util dumping to just completely stall them out.
This is crazy. Like, the smokes, the razor vines. Now the Molotov going in there as well. Leviathan can try and swing around. I mean, Evan Fear and 1-2-3 are making this potentially doable, but they're going to have to find a hell of a lot, and there would have to be an overstep from Full Sense as well, but you know, it's not exactly an overstep when it's got confidence behind it, and they can still keep hitting these shots. 1-2-3 has to pull off some unreal heroics now. And he does actually dink him up as well. Was that 145 in one? I think it was. Potter still secures the shot. And a 3K for the Neon means that all of Full Sense are, again, performing as a unit. It's paying dividends. 8-1 is the scoreline. Mongols just with nothing.
Yeah, I mean, something that I want to highlight as well, actually, is, yeah, Laz's utility is doing a lot of stalling, which is exactly what you want from a Sentinel. But the amount of information that Leviathan on the Prowlers has been able to find so far is absolutely crucial. I mean, you're looking at a couple of these pro teams that are looking to run in with a Fade and their success as well, like Vitality, Na'Vi, and stuff. You want your Fade to be a pivotal member of this lineup, because if you're not running the Fade and you're running like a Sova, for example, right, you need to make sure that the Sova is doing likewise of that. So it's great to see that Leviathan is getting so much on this Prowler kit. I mean, just right now, clearing out all of Dish, can then focus on towards the team, get a C's ready if they bust on out. He's just being extremely versatile and aware around what's happening on the floor.
A little bit of a battle of the Neons there as well. And now they're going to be reaggressing into main. There could be a bloodbath here. All wrapping around Sands. All ready to pop this door open. 1-2-3 is not going to know what hit him. They surely should be ready for him to be a little bit deeper around side main, but I suppose Laz has to watch his back now. Does get the shear, does get a little bit of info. And this positioning again. The man is absolutely everywhere. 1-2-3 is one and done. Killua will get the trade back, and now Laz trying to hold position. He will get it. More information, more control, more frags found, but he gets taken down in the end.
They can wait.
30 seconds left.
They can stop at the moment. A 3 versus 2, and you've got a confirmed tag on towards MN Fear, who has to go for a cross. The only way you're safely getting across is if you Rolling Thunder. You lost your teammate. You lost your life. That was ill-advised, because now you've got no Rolling Thunder with, I'll call it no rounds on this attacking side, looking plausible anymore, because there's only 2 left in this half, and the one that you got was bloody close with everyone dying at the end anyway.
Yeah, this has been a very... I can't tell, like, the pessimist in me says, wow, Mongols, this is really bad. You guys should be doing better. But the optimist in me says, wow, Full Sense, you guys are doing great. I love you, Cub.
It's literally a bit of both.
It is.
Honestly.
It definitely is. Because, like, the one thing I wanted to touch on very briefly is, you know, the Mongols, they've been smashing lands lately, right? You know, they get to play these Misa events. They get to play against some of the Mongols' best all the time. They recently won Season 3 of that only a short couple of days ago. So they are ready, right? But Potter... I mean, look, 3's pretty good in that situation, right? He's going to get the relay bolt down, the slide on in. Leviathan will take it. Flawless, and just not a single fight left in Mongols, it seems.
I know it's an eco, but the fundamentals is you're clearing the boxes. Right? You're clearing it, you're passing it, you're half-flying, you're still stalling out utility and trying to isolate an opponent. It feels like we've run out of steam at the moment for the Mongols, but maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to convert this next round. If they want to challenge it, I'm looking at an overdrive from Potter, Steel Garden from Laz, and then the scary factor as well is you still got in the back row Sephiroth 1 away from the orbital strike, Killua 1 away from the Rolling Thunder. This can be very, very large to close down a phenomenal half. But this time for the Mongols, they spread out a little bit. Everybody up at the dish. Bar 119 going to lurk in towards main very late. That's where majority of Full Sense's focus is going to be prioritized on, because of the Prowler spotting him out.
Oh, if they get him too, this could be massive.
Orbital now.
Man, 119 has not had a chance to do anything. There's that ultimate coming out. Potter gets 2. I mean, there is some damage here from the Mongols right now, but with that Steel Garden going out, it's made it really, really awkward. They have to go for the secondary, but they can actually manage to find the frag. So Laz...
They've got no spike.
Yeah, you have the ultimate down, but that spike is dropped on towards the site. So now they're going to have to pop the Trailblazer, clear out their extremities. The Sky Smokes make it a little bit uncomfortable for now. But Potter just firmly watching that line. He knows he's dropped the spike. He's got Sephiroth in tow, and they've got the orbital strike to work with too.
20 seconds on those smokes, and you can put the fast lane down to draw a little bit more time too. You can even drop an incendiary on the spike if you wanted to, and then orbital strike. Like, you don't necessarily need to hold them for a post plant in this scenario. Yeah, and they're going to start to do that, right? They're going to start to layer their utility to buy some crucial time to reposition because both members were spotted in main.
I actually love that. So smart to buy that time. How often do you see an orbital strike get used as a smoke, Komodo? Not often, but when you do, it's bloody beautiful. But all I can say is to see a half go this way like we did from Full Sense, that was absolute destruction. Well, Komodo, if you're just joining us right now, I first of all ask where the hell you've been, but you would have missed out on a pretty one-sided affair, a bit of a snowball effect coming through from Full Sense. They have been playing perfection on this map of Fracture, and they want to close it very, very quickly. And it looks like Mongols actually might give them the opportunity to do that, as there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 immediate kills. Make it 5, just because you love it. 12 to 1. Yeah, Mongols go next, I would say.
Little bit, not gonna lie. I'm just trying to think to myself, who was it? That arc rose that goes up on that wall is a very common arc rose that we've been seeing from, I believe it was the teams in China at the moment. Your JDGs, your FBXs, and your Tracers that are using Vice on this map. Very common to put the arc rose there because it can flash, you know, unders, anyone pushing arcade, anyone pushing dish, right? Very common. It's exactly what we saw there be a crucial flash to just deny vision to the Mongols. So you're asking yourselves right now, is it too late to remake? A little bit.
Oh, look, I think the thing is, right, again, you know, I constantly harp on about effort by committee, and someone who was popping off last map was 119, and he's got 1 kill right now. And, you know, that's just basically been off the back of this proactivity from Full Sense, really getting aggressive on that defensive side. So let's see if they've got something in it for us. It's 5 sheriffs, hopefully saying yeehaw, not haw ye. Creep it on up.
There's only so much you can do in this situation as well. And when you're staring against 3 operators, but 3 outlaws, by the way, on Full Sense's side, you can be happy enough to, well, I was going to say not overlook positions, but at least there is some trades.
Pausing. Just for a second, though.
Hold.
Because with that spike going down, Laz still in a pretty decent position, but they've got to make sure they don't overlook 119. That's the player I was talking about. Having a bit of a slow one, but up in tower, maybe there's some sort of opportunity. There's a shot. Leviathan goes down. Potter on the line. There he is. 119 getting a couple of shots, but Laz, the hero on the Vice. Can he get the shots out? Can he clear this angle? Can he find the line? He's got it, but he will get taken, and 119 closes out the round. Finally, the man's on the board, but I think it may very well be a little too late.
It's not over till it's over, though. Right?
Some say it's too late to apologize. It's too late.
We did see in recent history a team win on land and then forget to defuse and had to play in overtime. we did see it.
We did see that.
So there's 1. And a way to get back into it is to destroy your opponent's economy too by winning the secondary round after dropping the pistol.
Look, if anyone's been listening to my casting over the years, I would 100% ship 11 rounds on the trot for the Mongols. Adds to my storyline piece, which I love to harp on about.
Yeah, it just feels like individually there's a little bit lacking here for the Mongols. For sure. It's not just the team effort, you know.
Nah. And I feel like Full Sense is the team that could tilt. You know, they could lose their marbles a little bit, but there's a hell of a lot of wishing going on here to send that Mongols comeback into reality.
I've just noticed too, by the way, that Laz is currently 1 off Steel Garden. If you're going into a delayed bonus round in the next round where they'll get their guns up, if you're removing your opponent's guns for a take because they're on the attacking side, are you setting yourselves up to get some tree control and arcade control? Go on, drop that Steel Garden and go straight in towards the B site. Very plausible. Very plausible. Oh, he's using it now!
Steel Garden already. I mean, look, it's doing something, but how much is the question? They do walk on up. Potter wants to try find that shot. It's a little awkward. He does connect in the end, but that's 2 for Nexi with the classic inside that smoke. Sephiroth gets another with the Sheriff, but 1 versus 3. Great round from Nexi. And Sephiroth can rotate all the way around. He does have that spike, but at the end of the day, no Sky Smokes. Not a chance for the orbital unless he... Nah, I mean, look, he would have to get all 3, but he's actually going to dip his toes into spawn. He's going to have a great position of post plane is all I'll say for now.
I mean, if I was
10
Leaf,
seconds left.
I'm kind of questioning to my team there. Why are you using the Steel Garden in that situation? Use it for the next, even if you are, 12 to 2 up. You want to make sure that your fundamentals, I guess, are a little bit drilled in a map such as this one.
Sephiroth wins these, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm telling you. Reposition, walking on up, gets around the side. I mean, look, there was a chance. But Nexi, very important round for him. He had a bit of a rubbish one on the previous map of Abyss. So a 4K for him. 2 with the Classic, 2 with the Guardian. Brings us up to 3 for the Mongols.
Gotta go.
Slow and steady. I mean, there's always going to be chances now for Full Sense to just have an individual heroic moment or a good team placed round, and it's game over, right? The affordance of such a stellar first half at 11-1, if you had missed it. You got 1 away from this orbital strike for Sephiroth as well. It doesn't need to be anything too sinister for the side of Full Sense. I feel like just a good opening frag, a good little take of Sands and a split in towards the A site can definitely do it right now. The majority of the defense's forces over here, though, where you do hear the flashpoint coming through. I believe that was the only utility that they actually managed to hear over here as well. So, shouldn't know the Sky's Blue is here. Now they will.
It's aggressive, though, Potter, making it a little bit awkward. He even gets himself tagged up in his own relay bolt. Gets the shot, has the regen shield for now. There was some good damage found by that orbital strike. Frag pending, but Mongols maybe digging a little bit too deep into the sands of time there as now Potter swings on out, but it's Nexi who's been the hero in the last 2 rounds, inclusive of now Sephiroth 1v3 again. Guiding light for the information. Trailblazer to buy some time. And Nexi right on that line, right on time. 4 kills again. So back-to-back 4Ks for a 4th round. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Trying to force the issue a little bit too fast for Full Sense. It does feel like, though, at the end there, right? You've got, Prowlers in main. You've got Fault Lines available as well. Trying to go in a little bit dry at the beginning and then get caught in a stun lock. Orbital strike goes in from Nexi as well, right? So these are the things that you always need to be just a little bit careful of, whether or not you've got it in the forefront of your mind and you've got that foresight to expect it, or if not, it happens to you. Now you've got the tape that you've experienced. You've lived through it to remember later on in this map.
So just buying time again, Full Sense. I think this is an important time for them to try and close this game now. I mean, only the eco, they're not going to stress too much. They've got enough invested to win out this round, but, it's a mixed bag, right? Mixed fight. 1, 2, 3 diving on in. Potter does manage to get one back. They over-invest that orbital strike too. So Sephiroth burning probably a little bit too much there. Potter, are they in a position to recover the Vandal? Yes, they are. So that's not a bad shout at all, but no shield. 68 points of HP. Gonna swap over the Sheriff there.
Good reposition, actually, from Sky's Blue here. I like this little off angle.
Up, though. They're certainly aware of it, but Killua only good for the trade. So Sephiroth's going to be a little bit behind in tow. Should be able to recover the Vandal. Spike now walks its way in. They are close and personal here, though, Komodo. The rotation has to come in through from 119. Aftershock gives them additional time. Now that Spike gets planted.
Spike planted. 2 flashes still available for MN Fear. And besides 119 on 1 trapwire, that's about it. So the defenses on this retake are a little bit dry for it, but they do have numbers.
1 enemy remaining.
I feel like this is doable for Full Sense, though, right? I mean, great shot there from 119. Sephiroth is going to have to now do it all, and he really would have loved to have that orbital strike, right? Holding onto it, just into the scope. 1 will swing, but that's the information. They know exactly where he is now. All they need to do is just swing at a time, and on a dime, the relay, the fault. But in the end, the Molotov can't quite come out. Great fault line to give them additional time for the defuse. And Mongols continue to hold on.
Good passive approaches from the Mongols in that round. I just want to highlight that before I get a little bit negative Nancy on Full Sense. That's twice now that we've seen 2 large, round-defining ultimates being used in a single isolated player's target range, right? Last time it was the Steel Garden, essentially used to remove one player's guns when you're on an eco round. You're on that little haphazard buy round. This time you've seen 1 player recycle through the door and you try to stun lock them in and then orbital strike them on down when you've already seen 2 other agents' abilities in main as well. So is the plan to try and get that one player and stop and stall for more time with the orbital? Or is it to get them and then explode back out on towards the site? Because as soon as they used that, they tried to then regain control of main extremely quickly and get in towards the site, right? So I feel like a little bit of this ultimate ability positioning and timing at the moment for Full Sense is disconnected.
I think it's a prime time for Leaf to call that pause as well and have a bit of a chat to the boys and say what's going on. This should have been a 13-1. We should have been into that second series by now. But, you know, these do happen, and this is like the true test of your ability as a player, right? The ability to close is a massive one. You know, you can open, you can have the greatest pickup line, you can buy the drink, you can be very, very confident off the rip, but then if you can't, you know, take her home to the parents one day, then what's the point?
There are guns present available yet again for Full Sense. Potter can extend out onto the Lightning Fingers. Leviathan one away from the Nightfall. So everyone is grouped up, bar one on the north side of the map at the moment for Full Sense. If they're going for a dish approach, it will be met with the least amount of resistance at the moment. So I'll be interested to see if 1-2-3 does try and draw out a guiding light to just keep them at bay for a little bit. Or if he does just decide that with that shear being popped, that they're just going to put, you know, a bit more focus on towards holding down the side itself. Sky's Blue repositioning on towards the side itself with 1-2-3. And the rest of the team, they ain't budging. They're happy to wait at the B site. They got their Cypher utility there as well.
Yeah, pretty happy to just chill. Gonna be hard to break through this utility, as you mentioned. So instead, they will rotate through the underpass.
I'm just wondering,
getting a lot of info.
Do they decide to try and nightfall towards the site from unders? Because you've got to, you know, think that you've cleared no trap wires. You've cleared no real utility of your opponents with 30 seconds to go. And that's what they try to do again.
Yeah. Re-get the Arcros where he's going to put it. Still so awkward trying to buy this additional time, but Potter is going to be able to find one onto 119, and that's that utility going down, right? The trap wire all gone. Potter gets two, and now as they push in towards the side, it's unfortunately all left onto one. A great approach here from Full Sense, all doing it together. A couple of warning shots, though. It would be a 1 versus 4. They just got to be so careful. Sephiroth can cut himself in there to the cubby. Doesn't have to over-aggress. They've got the crosshair here from Arcade, from the generator. Overdrive popped as well for Potter. There's going to be a stranglehold, unfortunately, for 1-2-3. They would have to blunder hard here. And as the fault line catches, the time continues to tick. 1-2-3 does get a singular, but it will be Potter to swing and ding a 3-kill for Found. And I think that's a great result, right? A great pause to come through from Leaf and say, hey, guys, relax.